Are you sick and tired of the boring, generic blue Jetrax? Introducing the lemon-flavored yellow Jetrax. What's new? Nothing!
Hello everyone and welcome to the recap review. Today we're going to be taking a look at set number 8942, the Jetrax T6. The set contains approximately 422 pieces, was released in the summer of 2008, and time of release was approximately $50. Alright, now we're getting into the bigger vehicles. This is pretty crazy, right guys? Haha. Let's kick off with the disclaimer. Just because a pro or con is in this video does not explicitly mean it is my personal opinion. I do my best to keep these reviews as objective as possible, taking all opinions and or comments regarding the set in question from the community, or objective facts about it that I can represent on camera here. So please, unless I explicitly say one way or the other whether or not an opinion is mine, do not assume that it is. With that out of the way, let's jump right into the review. So to kick things off, let's go ahead and take a look at the driver, considering that the driver of this set is also from a lineage line of sets. Now, this is going to kind of showcase one of the features and functions of the Jetrax, so bear with me. But the canopy can open up. You see, when it's closed, you should be able to push it forward. Oh, come on. There we go. And it'll snap into place right here. Push it back and lift it up. Go ahead and unhook Antraws from the steering wheel and his little pedal things, and get his back unhinged from the back, and then take the Jetrax and put it somewhere else. And now you have just Antraws. Now Antraws has done something a little bit different from his prior iteration. So here we have Antraws Summer variant, and here we have Antraws Winter variant. I'm sure you can see the difference here. So, Antraws in vehicle form, he has taken Antraws' Fantoka color scheme and kind of flipped it. As you can see here, it's now primarily dark red with black accents, as opposed to black with the red accents. Gone are all of the original features that kind of made Antraws really pop. We have no more wings, no more blades, no more spiked feet, and the cool mask is actually gone. So as I understand it, Antraws is kind of a blank slate. Not a whole lot of people really like the vehicle iteration, especially now that he also has green eyes. As far as recolors are concerned, I don't honestly think there are any. We got this in Axon and those with the original Anika, so if you're looking for recolors on the figure, you're not going to find any. The mask is new, and unlike the Winter counterpart, you can see here it uses an axle to clip on. So you have an axle hole right there, put the axle in, there we go, and put the mask on. So, there you have it. That's the comparison. Let's go ahead and take them out of the way, and take a look at the Jetrax. And here we have the vehicle itself, the second vehicle in the T-Series line. So as we can see, it is blue, as opposed to the Rocco's green and the Axelar's red. And it's quite sleek and slim. For being a Technic construction, it isn't as gappy as it could be. You do have, your standard gaps right there, and obviously this is supposed to be the cockpit. However, it's quite a solid build for what it is, which many people do really appreciate. As far as the color scheme is concerned, it's quite consistent. However, blue takes more of a backseat role, as more of a identifier, as opposed to a primary color, which, people have mixed feelings about. There aren't any recolors here per se. It's all kind of just Technic beams and what have you in blue. So you're not going to find any wave pieces in any new colors here. However, we do have several of them. We have these pieces, 3 of these. We do have this kind of Kirox blade here. We have the Mystica shoulder armor piece and, a bunch of others. Upon further reflection, however, I actually do believe that these are new recolors. These silver kind of Krika limb pieces, so that is actually kind of neat to see. A couple of other small things of note would be some building design choices. As you can see, there are some open pins and some open axles that are kind of unusual. I'm not really sure why they're there. And there are, of course, red axles and even red connector pin pieces. It's kind of unusual. I figure it's because it's an identifier, and you could argue that it's an accent because we do have the lightsaber bars here, 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 and there. But some people may not like the fact that there is red on a primarily blue set. Now, as far as stability is concerned, it's actually rather stable, thanks mostly due to the back end over here, the cockpit. Now, functionality-wise, I did mention prior, we do have the cockpit kind of canopy here. That does open up quite seamlessly. We do have this kind of steering wheel component, and that will do what it does. He's mostly meant to be holding on to it. However, the main attraction here are these giant thrusters, these engines. So there's this large Technic beam right through the center of the Jetrax. Now if you push down on it, well, technically if you push it up, then the turbines will come in quite nicely. And if you push down right here, then they will go out. It's a really fantastic function, and it works quite nicely. It really adds a lot to the whole. You know, this is it stationary and boom, ready to fight and fly. So it's really great. Obviously, we have the obligatory Midax Sky Blasters. This one has 3, 2 on the turbines, and 1 right below the nose. So overall, the functionality is actually really great, and these turbines look really cool. They are kind of gappy on the bottom here, but that's alright, because on the top, where you're supposed to see them, they look rather imposing and really blend into the set quite nicely. Overall, the Jetrax has been quite positively received for its general build, the look of the set, and its functionality. It works quite well. It's not the most expensive, but not the least expensive of the T-Series vehicles, but it's often considered to be a fan favorite right behind the Axelara. The functions work really well, it looks rather imposing, and its build is actually quite solid for being a mostly Technic construction. One other thing. The Jetrax T6 was released twice. This is the standard model. This was the exclusive for Target in the United States. I'm going to go ahead and take this spud puppy out of here. This is the yellow Jetrax T6. Now in the story, apparently Anchaws, while flying the thing, he hit one of those light stones, those really large ones in the Cadrex, and it supercharged the Jetrax. Now, obviously enough, there's no difference aside from yellow, and this actually does come with quite a few nice recolors. All the Technic, or at least most of the blue Technic, is now yellow. However, we also have these giant shield pieces in yellow as a new recolor. It's really, really cool. So there's really no set difference aside from color between these two sets. While I have this here, I would like to mention one final issue with the Jetrax models, and that's the gear function. Now, if you leave it on a shelf for an extended period of time, you'll find that if dust gets on it and gets caked on it for a long period of time, it's hard to get off, and it will make the gear function nearly impossible to operate. It's really unfortunate, and it's just the nature of things. So I warn you to be careful and clean it at least on a semi-regular basis, at least monthly if you don't want the gear function to fail at certain intervals. But that generally sums it up. That has been the Jetrax T6. What do you guys think of it? Do you like the blue model more? Do you like the yellow one? Feel free to let me know either in the comments below or on the TTV message boards at board.ttvpodcast.com. Thanks very much for watching, and join me next week when I go over the big bad, the red refrigerator. That's right, the Axelara T9. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you then.